What is going on, guys? It's ThePowerBauer 2 here. About a year and a half ago, we received a new Legend of Zelda game called The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch. Oh yeah, and I guess the Wii U still exists. Many people, including myself, consider this game to be the best in the franchise. I mean, the graphics are amazing, the characters are compelling, and you can literally do whatever you want, whenever you want. It is the definition of an open-world adventure. However, before this game was released, my favorite Legend of Zelda game was not a popular one. No, it wasn't Ocarina of Time, not Majora's Mask, not Wind Waker, and not Twilight Princess, even though I own both versions of it. No, my favorite Zelda game was The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Wait. Before you write nasty comments saying that I'm retarded and this is a terrible choice for me, let me explain why I think Skyward Sword is the most underrated Legend of Zelda game. Oh, and by the way, spoiler warning if you haven't played this game already, but I mean it's been out for what, like 8-9 years now, so if you haven't played this, it's your own damn fault. Go play this masterpiece, and then come back to this video. Let's get into it. So the game starts off with Link having a dream of a dark beast foreshadowing the game ahead when he is awoken by his Loftwing who spits a letter at him from Zelda. The letter tells Link to meet Zelda at the statue of the goddess to prepare for the upcoming wing ceremony later that day. Yeah, kinda last minute on Zelda's part to prepare the morning of, but anyways, he meets Zelda and quickly learns that his Loftwing is missing after Zelda pushes him off the edge. I still don't know why she did that, to be honest. And then we meet the greatest character in the game, Groose. Nice hair, dick. Link learns that Groose and his two goons, who I honestly don't remember their names. Actually, apparently their names are Colin and Stritch. I'm still never going to remember their names because they're basically just little wimps who do whatever Groose tells them to. Anyways, they stole Link's Loftwing and he needs to go find it. Link then heads to the Knight Academy where he receives his sword. Now, here's where many people draw their hatred for this game from. The game requires motion controls to swing the Wii remote and act like an actual sword for attacking. Many people claim that these controls are very finicky and don't work too well, which I really don't understand. Maybe I'm just lucky, but I've never really had any real trouble with the controls. The sword was always responsive and worked well. There was only one time I can think of that the motion controls don't work the best, but we will get to that later. Now that Link has his sword, he heads to the cave near the waterfall and meets up with Zelda on the other side. Zelda hears a strange voice but assures Link that it was nothing. Okay, Zelda, I know we were up in the sky and nothing bad has ever happened to you, but when you hear a mysterious voice out of nowhere, it's usually not a good thing! They then free Link's Loftwing and head off to the wing ceremony. This introduces the player to how the Loftwing controls, and again, many people have gripes with this. You control the Loftwing by tilting the Wii remote and pressing A accelerates while pressing B decelerates, and then you swing the Wii remote to make the wings flap. Again, I've never had any problems with this. I personally think the Wii Motion Plus, you know, the accessory that made the Wii remote do what it actually was supposed to do in the first place, makes this much easier and enjoyable. Quickly after Link returns, the wing ceremony begins and Groose and his goons, who I've already forgotten the names of again, turn into complete assholes and cheat to try and make you lose. But since I'm an absolute beast, Link wins and holy Zelda, why did you jump? But since we are amazing, we catch her and travel to the top of the goddess statue. Zelda bestows the blessings of the goddess onto Link, gives him the sailcloth, and then she starts to come on him. Wait, what? Yeah, this is one of the only Zelda games that really shows the bond between Link and Zelda, but then... Why does Zelda keep pushing us off of ledges? Link uses the sailcloth to land, and then Zelda asks to go flying to celebrate, but... Why didn't you listen to the voice? I told you it was a bad thing! Zelda is sucked below the clouds and Link is carried back to Skyloft by his Loftwing. That following night, Link has another nightmare of Zelda falling into the mouth of the same dark beast he saw before. He is then woken up by a mysterious voice. Oh, we saw how well that ended up last time. And he follows this spirit to the goddess statue and boy, I'm sure a lot of you are not happy to see her. This spirit is Fi, who tells Link that Zelda is still alive, and then the headmaster enters out of nowhere and tells Link to find her. Fi gives Link the Emerald Tablet to enter the world below the clouds. Now, if you've never played Skyward Sword and don't know who Fi is, well, do you remember Navi and how annoying she was? Yeah, Fi is basically the same thing except more robotic. Link then receives his green tunic because we can't just leave without that, and then heads to the ground through the hole in the clouds. Here we arrive at the sealed grounds, where there is a dark aura appearing from a spike at the bottom of a large pit. Link then performs a Skyward Strike to draw the aura away, and by the way, we are going to be coming back here a lot, just to warn you. We then enter into the sealed temple where we meet some old woman, I'm sure she's not important, who hints at Zelda's whereabouts but won't tell us directly. Just tell me, you old bitch, I'm trying to save my girl and get some puss! We head to the back of the temple and into Faron Woods, where we have to save these little guys known as Kiwis, and oh my god, they're so cute! After making his way through the forest, Link heads into Skyview Temple, where we receive the greatest item of all time, the beetle. Just kidding, this item is terrible. Okay, the puzzle to use it to hit the same switch that you used to enter that room? That's kinda cool, but after that, it's pretty lame. We reach the end of the temple, and this is the motion controls that I said I didn't love. You have to move the key to the correct orientation in order for it to work. You have to like bend your wrist to the point where it feels like it's gonna break for some of these. Like the first one here, it's pretty easy, but they get much more difficult. I like the idea, but just don't love doing it. We walk through the door where we meet the gayest villain of all time, Girahim, who was behind the dark tornado that took Zelda. Time to fight? Yeah, it's over. He was not very difficult. Link heads to the spring where Fi tells him that Zelda will be heading to 2 more springs, and then we receive the Ruby Tablet and head back to Skyloft. The Ruby Tablet opens up a hole to Eldin Volcano where Link heads next. Obviously, this gives a much different threat than Faron Woods because there is lava all over the place. But as is Zelda tradition pretty much, this is where we get the bombs, so it's amazing. Here we have the Earth Temple, which I love. You can go across the lava on boulders, which is dope. We reach the end and god damn it, not this again! We walk through and what the f***, I thought I killed you! Girahim says that he lost Zelda and then he sends a beast known as Scaldera at Link. This is basically just a carbon copy of the King Dodongo battle from Ocarina of Time, but I personally like this one much more because of the surrounding battling area. We head to the second spring and hey, we found Zelda, I guess the game's over. Zelda says she has to leave and the woman that she's with stops Link from going with her, saying that we got here too slowly. Oh sorry, I just had to beat a 50-foot tall boulder spider thing and a gay Gene Simmons. Strike that, Gene Simmons. We then receive the Amber Tablet, which reveals that Zelda is heading to the Lanayru Desert. Link heads to the Lanayru Desert, and I know I'm biased towards the desert areas, but I love this, and it's one of my favorite areas. The time shift stones are so cool, and I've never heard of anybody hating this. All of the robots that come back to life and seeing the mines transform from their working days to the ruins of now is just so mesmerizing. Here we find the Temple of Time, but it's blocked off, forcing us to go to the Lanayru mining facility, and oh boy, if you thought the beetle was useless. Well, here we get the Gust Bellows, the item you use maybe 2 times outside of this dungeon. The boss of this dungeon is actually the one we saw in the trailer at E3, except that was in a forest, but again, it's a pretty easy boss. Link reaches the Temple of Time and sees Zelda, but out of nowhere, Gene Simmons attacks and prevents Link from helping. Zelda then gives Link the Goddess Harp and yeah, let's just stand here and pose while Girahim is trying to kill Zelda! Zelda and her escort escape through the Gate of Time and destroy it behind them. Girahim flees and Link decides to head to the sealed grounds to learn how to use his new harp. As we descend, holy Groose, what are you doing? Groose tells Link that he is going to save Zelda, and good joke, bro. How are you going to save her with that hair? Link then goes to the old woman who teaches us the Ballad of the Goddess, which is actually Zelda's lullaby backwards. And oh my god, when I learned that, I freaked the f*** out. But this causes the Dark Beast, known as the Imprisoned, to break from its seal, and Link has to reseal it. I'm sure we won't see him again. The old woman then tells us that our sword sucks. Thanks. And we need to seek out the sacred flames from the golden goddesses. Back at Skyloft, Link unearths the light tower and plays the Ballad of Goddess to open a hole into the Thunderhead. Here, Link lands on the Isle of Songs and learns Faror's courage. With this new songs, we can head back to Faron Woods where we can now enter the Silent Realm, and oh boy, the Silent Realm. This is basically a parallel realm where we have to find all of Faror's tears to prove ourselves. Seems easy enough. Oh no, oh no, no, no! Getting all of the tears gives Link the Water Dragon skill and allows us to travel to Lake Floria. Here we meet Faron the Dragon and that's a weird looking dragon. After Link gets her some water to heal her, she reveals that Faror's Flame lies at the end of the ancient Cistern. And oh my god, this is the best dungeon in all of Zelda. You can hate on the backtracking of this game all you want, but Skyward Sword has the best collection of dungeons in all of Zelda. You reach the end and god damn it! And we fight the coolest boss ever, even though it has a weird child laugh. You good, bro? We get Faror's Flame and our sword transforms into the Goddess Longsword. Heh, it has a boner. Link heads back to the Isle of Songs where he learns Nayru's wisdom and heads back to Lanayru Desert where we have to do another Silent Realm. Fuck! This gives us the Claw Shots, which allows us to access the Lanayru Sand Sea. Oh my god, the idea of having an ocean that has turned to a desert over time is so cool. Ah! We meet up with Skipper and locate his lost sand ship, which is the next dungeon. This is once again an amazing dungeon with having to hit the time shift stones to move different parts of the ship. God, this is good! Link defeats the pirate captain and then we defeat a giant monster known as Tantalus and receive Nayru's Flame to make our sword the Goddess White Sword. Why's it gotta be white? Link then learns Din's power and returns to the Eldin Volcano for one more Silent Realm, which is the most difficult. This gives us the Fire Shield earrings to make us look fabulous! This allows Link to head over to the Volcano Summit and enter the Fire Sanctuary, and thank God this is the last time we have to use motion controls for this key. We have to fight Girahim again, who says he's more powerful this time, dead. We get Din's Flame and our sword becomes the Master Sword. Oh, spoilers by the way, if you didn't know you were gonna get the Master Sword. We head back to the sealed grounds and oh, not this again. Link has to fight the Imprisoned again, but this time we have Groose on our side who built a catapult because I guess he had nothing better to do. Now we can finally open the Gate of Time and head back to the past where we meet Zelda. Finally, we can end on a happy note and... Wait, Zelda, what are you... Oh god, no! She seals herself away to keep Demise sealed and tells Link that he must find the Triforce to defeat him. And oh my god, this scene made me cry the first time I saw it. Seeing the pain on Link's face as his best friend is being sealed away forever just broke my heart. I need a minute. Link learns that the only being that has any knowledge of the Triforce is the great sky spirit Levias, but we are told he's acting strange and might be possessed by something. I'm sure it will be fine. Oh god, what the? After we save Levias, he tells Link that we must seek out the 3 dragons who each know a separate part of the Song of the Hero that will lead us to the Triforce. Oh boy, more backtracking. Isn't this fun? And hey, why do we have to head back to the sealed grounds? Son of a bitch! After sealing the imprisoned for a 3rd time, we learn that Faron Woods is flooded, so Groose comes up with a plan that any reasonable person would have. Put Link in a catapult and fling him into the woods. After swimming inside the great tree, Link encounters Faron again, who tasks him with finding notes to her part of the Song of the Hero, in the form of tad tones. This is one of the most annoying parts of the game, and if I'm being honest, I can understand if you do not like this part of the game. After Link collects them all, Faron teaches him her part of the song and has the water recede to return Faron Woods to its normal state. When Link reaches the Eldin region, the volcano erupts and makes Link lose all of his items. This makes the entire next area a stealth mission to retrieve all of Link's items, and I love this. There are bokoblins all over the mountain, and it takes a lot of patience to get your items back. I love these types of missions in video games. Of all the times we visit Eldin, this is my favorite. After you retrieve all of your items, you head to the volcano summit and find Eldin, who teaches you his part of the song. Lastly, we head to the Lanayru Gorge, where the Thunder Dragon is supposedly alive, and oh, this is where the time shift stones return, and we bring the Thunder Dragon back to life, but he is severely sick and needs a fruit from the Tree of Life to be healed. Link retrieves a sapling, and this is one of the coolest puzzles in the whole game, if I'm going to be honest. What you need to do is head to the sealed temple with the sapling and go back in time. There, you plant it and return to present day where the tree is fully grown and you can retrieve the fruit. Man, that's creative! You then give the fruit to the Thunder Dragon, which heals him, and he teaches you the 3rd part of the song. We then return to Levias, who now that we have the 3 other parts of the song, teaches us his part to complete the song. After playing the song in Skyloft, oh I thought we were done with this. Actually, I kind of enjoy the Silent Realm. Being able to traverse Skyloft in a whole new way with a real danger is such a good change of pace. This trial gives us a gem, and we are told that there's another one somewhere in Skyloft, and it's so cool that this has literally been here the entire game and just hidden in plain sight. We put the gemstone in the other eye, and I guess it didn't do anything. Oh. This is Skykeep, the final dungeon of the game, and it's so cool. You have to move the rooms of the dungeon around to connect them in different ways so you can reach each part of the Triforce. You have to think like 3 steps ahead in order to reach each one, and I love it. Once you retrieve all the 3 pieces of the Triforce, we return to the sealed grounds and make our wish for the destruction of Demise, and yes! Destroy that bitch! Yeah! Zelda awakens from her deep sleep and we are finally reunited and we live happily ever after. Oh, you, Gene Simmons! Girahim steals Zelda and takes her back in time to revive Demise, so of course we follow him. When we get there, Girahim makes tons of walls and sends hundreds of enemies at us, and oh my god, it feels so good to slash through all of these bokoblins. I love this! It almost feels like Hyrule Warriors, but much better. We reach Girahim and he reveals that he is basically just an evil version of Fi. Scratch that, he is Fi. And we have one more final battle with him. Now, this battle is a little different than his previous 2, and it feels so good to stab him right through his heart. His second phase forces you to destroy his sword by slashing certain directions a few times before he is defeated. But it turns out that the ritual to revive Demise has begun while they were battling, and the imprisoned appears and absorbs Zelda's soul, and then that's not Ganondorf. Demise appears and turns Girahim back into a sword. Thank God he's gone. He then tosses Zelda to the ground, but out of nowhere, Groose is here to save the day. Groose, your hair might have a boner, but I love you. Demise then says that he will give Link a chance to defeat him before he takes over the world. Why do evil guys always do this shit? I mean, I'm not gonna argue if I'm Link, but that never works for the bad guy. Link follows Demise into a realm of nothing but the sky for battle and oh damn! Just got real! The first phase is simple sword fighting against Demise. You basically just need to shield bash his attacks and then slash the out of him. But the second phase? Oh man, I love this! You can hold your sword up to the sky and get lightning to power up your Skyward Strike to stun Demise. Man, if you thought the end of Wind Waker when you stabbed Ganondorf in the head was intense, Skyward Sword just one-ups it by jumping 10 feet in the air, taking lightning into your sword, and stabbing him straight through the chest! My god, that feels good! Demise then curses Link and Zelda with his dying breath to the cycle of their spirits being reborn over and over and over again in an endless fight against Demise's spirit. Oh, so that's why every game has them named Link and Zelda. Link returns to the temple where they are ready to return to their old time, but Fi then tells Link that he must seal her and the Master Sword away. And this scene, oh my god. The first time I played this game, I ragged on Fi so much. But then she just left in the most heart-wrenching way possible and I cried my eyes out. It's like they tried to make you hate her just so they can be like, wow, you're such a dick, feel bad now. After we seal Fi away, Impa tells us that she must stay behind. Why is everyone leaving us? This is in order to protect the Master Sword, so Zelda gives her bracelet, and Impa says that they will meet again one day. They then return to the Gate of Time, which is destroyed behind them, and then they see the same old lady from the entire game, who is wearing the bracelet that Zelda gave Impa! Oh my god, this is amazing! Impa didn't actually leave us! Wait, no, don't do this again! No! Now that Demise has been defeated, the sky is clear again and we can see Link and Zelda standing atop the goddess statue playing the Ballad of the Goddess. Zelda says she wants to stay on the surface and asks Link what he wants to do. He smiles at her and then the camera fades away. No, just kiss already! This game has the best story of any Zelda game ever. It is literally the beginning of everything and shows how The Legend of Zelda began. Yes, there's a lot of backtracking, but every game has backtracking. Plus, you always go to a new area of each region or it's changed. For example, Faron Woods is normal the first time, then you go to Lake Hylia, and next Faron Woods is flooded. It's a different experience each time. Also, many people just say the sky is barren and has nothing to do in it, which is just total bullshit. There are so many side quests in this game, and I'll just counterpoint you by saying the Great Sea from Wind Waker is just as barren and has just as little to do as the sky. People also criticize this game for being too linear, but every Zelda game has portions that are linear. Well, besides Breath of the Wild, people look too much at the negatives of Skyward Sword and refuse to look at the positives. Yes, we fight the imprisoned too many times, but you can't ignore all of the great characters and development that they go through. A perfect example is Groose. He starts off as just a school bully who hates Link because Zelda likes him. He then falls into a depression when he realizes that he can't save Zelda the way Link can. But then he comes back stronger than ever and helps Link defeat the imprisoned, and they even sort of become friends at the end. Plus, this is the only game where you really feel a connection to Zelda. Most games just portray her as a princess that you have to save and don't give much backstory or reason to care about her. Some other games that make you care about her a little bit are Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild a little, but they don't do it to the same extent of Skyward Sword. They grew up together as best friends, which is a new dimension to their backstory that we've never had before. You can tell that Link has a crush on Zelda and will do anything to save her. I mean, I shipped them hard through my first playthrough of the game. Although the ending is sort of ambiguous, come on! They clearly end the game together and I love it! Skyward Sword isn't a perfect game, but no game is. I mean, I could probably make a 20-minute video about every Legend of Zelda game and why they're not that good, but that doesn't mean they aren't all amazing. I love them all. I am someone who loves well thought out stories and characters. This is why I love shows just like Avatar and The Legend of Korra. Actually, wait. Legend of Korra? Legend of Zelda? They should do a crossover. Anyways, I just love this game and I can always come back to it. I just love everything about this. Well, except for... Oh god, no!